I was away from my girlfriend, my family. I had limited access to social media, and I had to learn a new language. Did I just waste 2 years of my life? Yeah, so I grew up in the church, and generally after you graduate high school, between like 18 to 20 years old, there's an opportunity that you have that you can choose to serve a mission. Teach others about Jesus Christ, go to another country, maybe a different state, another foreign place. You can possibly be called to serve your mission in a different language like Chinese, Spanish, Portuguese.
You are hereby called to serve as a missionary of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You have been recommended as one worthy to represent the Lord as a minister of the restored gospel of Jesus Christ.
You will be an official representative of the church.
As such, you will be expected to honor the covenants you have made with your Heavenly Father.
As you devote your time and attention to serving the Lord, leaving behind all of their personal affairs, the Lord will bless you
with increased knowledge and testimony of Jesus Christ and His restored gospel.
Your purpose will be to invite others to come under Christ by helping them receive the restored gospel through faith in Jesus Christ and His atonement.
And endure to the end.
As you serve
with all your heart, might, mind, and strength,
the Lord will lead you to those
who will hear His message.
Day 2, and then have the opportunity to receive
sacred ordinances and make covenants with your Heavenly Father.
You were assigned to labor in the France, Leo.
West Virginia, Charleston.
Argentina, Salta.
Philippines, Seville,
Georgia, Atlanta.
California, Oakland,
Massachusetts, Boston, Michigan.
Service missionary and Spanish work service mission.
England, Louise mission.
Dominican Republic, Colorado, Denver, South
Tahiti Coffee Mission.
Dallas, Texas.
Arizona Gilbert Mission.
Texas, Dallas, East Mission.
So growing up, I've always heard about missions, and I've had family and friends that served missions. And I never really thought about myself serving a mission up until I was a little bit older. So my senior year of high school, I went actually on a humanitarian trip, and I went down to Fiji. Yeah, there I just got to do service for other people. I got to build bathrooms. I got to have fun too while I was there. I got to meet a bunch of cool people and just connect with like a group of people that I would have never met in my entire life if I didn't choose to go on the humanitarian trip. That kind of sparked my idea of thinking maybe a mission is for me.
Anyways, I'm about to share some news that might shock all of you, and that's because it changes my life for the next 2 years. So what I'm about to say, I've teased it before in a bunch of our videos. I asked you guys in one of our shorts and stuff to guess what is happening and what the announcement is. And I had people saying like, oh, you're going to college. Oh, you're moving out. Oh, you're getting married. And I just had a bunch of different guesses. But I'm here to tell you that's watching this video, I'm going on a church mission to teach others about Jesus Christ and spread His gospel. And it feels so weird saying that because I never really expected for me to go on a mission. Like I've always kind of like thought about it in my head, but it's finally coming true, and I just can't wrap my mind around it.
And it just felt like the right thing to do, and I was like at that point in my life where I feel like I needed a little bit of change. I wanted to do something different, and I remember being super scared too of even like thinking about serving a mission and committing all the way. So I just started talking secretly with my bishop, one of my church leaders, and I was just having some private conversations with him, talking about mission and talking about like the papers that you can fill out before you go and receive your assignment to where you're called to serve. Before I finalized my papers and turned them in to the church headquarters, I had a conversation with my family, and I was talking to my mom about the mission and the idea of it. She got really sad. She was almost distraught about it all. But yeah, I said, baby bird's gotta stretch his wings. He's gotta get out of this nest. No, so I had that conversation, and she kind of chilled out a little bit. After a few days, I ended up turning in my papers. So generally once you submit in your papers, it takes about 2 weeks, and you receive on like a Tuesday. It is 3:46 a.m. We are headed out this morning bright and early because we have quite a drive to the airport. But before that, Brock, you have something special that you've been waiting for today, huh? Yes. So today's Tuesday, and every Tuesday the church headquarters send out their like mission assignments for all the missionaries. And so since I had mine turned in last week, it could be coming today. So Brock might know where he's going to be leaving for the next 2 years today. I was just on my phone constantly, just like, when am I gonna get this notification? Is it gonna be this week? I don't know. Hours went by, still nothing. It was about like noon, and that's usually when you get your calls, like in the morning-ish, noonish. I still had not received my call. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just not today. Kind of like through my phone, kind of like was a little like forgetting about a little bit of it. We went out for a late lunch, and on my way back, I saw a notification on my phone. It was a notification from the church. I just started freaking out. Like my face went red. I felt so hot. Like my heart was beating. I'm like, there's no way this is real. This text message is literally gonna tell me where I'm gonna be for the next 2 years, and if I'm gonna speak another language. I tried to forget about it. I stress ate my lunch. I just decided, you know what? I should just probably open this thing. Like it's been long enough. So I ran outside. I told my brother Boston. I'm like, dude, I got my call. He's like, no way. So excited for me. And I call my parents. I call my grandparents. Everyone comes over.
Have you opened it yet? I haven't opened it yet. I'm too nervous, dude. I feel like throwing up.
It says your missionary call letter is ready. I got my mission call.
Do you swear?
Swear on my life. Get over here right now. Get over here now. This instant.
Okay, I'm coming right now.
Where do you think Brock is going?
I was really thinking South America, but on the ride here, I'm thinking like Italy or Spain.
That's a good guess.
Maybe Spanish speaking somewhere?
O Block, South Side. I think he's going to New York.
New York?
To Brazil. I'm thinking Arizona.
How about Bolivia?
Bolivia.
Okay, my phone's back.
Portugal? That's a good one.
You are assigned to labor in the Brazil. And I'm gonna be speaking Portuguese. And I'm leaving August 7th. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm like nervous, excited, but just like ready to get out there. I still even remember waking up right after I'd gotten my call of just this happiness where I'm like, man, I don't have to stress about where I'm going. I'm not going to Idaho. I'm not, just kidding. I'm going to a super cool place. I'm going to Brazil. This is gonna be so awesome. After some time, I feel like reality just kind of started to slowly come in on me. The feelings and everything just started to set in that I won't be able to see my girlfriend for the next years. I won't be able to just go and walk into my mom and dad's room and talk to them. I won't be able to see my brother and go hang out with him like I always do. After flying back out from Utah, back to my home in Tennessee, I said goodbye to my girlfriend, which was like one of the hardest goodbyes ever. That next week, I started Home MTC, which is basically like at-home missionary training where you're on Zooms like practically all day. That's when reality like hit me so hard. I had never had anxiety really in my life. I vividly remember just being so uptight and like just like nervous, scared. It's like to the point where like I wasn't eating sometimes, and I like remember one day it was so bad. I could usually like eat like at least a little bit. I couldn't eat anything. And I remember walking upstairs and just like bawling in front of my parents, being like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm so nervous. The thing is, I felt called to go and serve a mission. I felt like it was something for me and something I needed to do. And so I stuck with it, and I just took it like by baby steps. If I can just get through Home MTC, I'll be fine. If I can just get through the actual MTC where I go out to Brazil and start my training there, I'll be fine. If I can just go into the field just for a couple months, I'll be fine. And so I kind of had that mentality. Once I finally said goodbye to my family and took off to Brazil, I felt so much better. Like once I was finally there, I was able to make friends. I was able to just kind of get adjusted, and the goodbyes and all those sad things were all over. I loved the MTC, and one of the things that made it so fun was that you just have a bunch of 18, 20-year-olds in one building. Everyone's in the same boat. Everyone just said goodbye to their families. No one knows what they're doing for the next 2 years. We're all trying to learn a new language. We just all kind of hung out. Everyone got along. Like, it was so fun. We were just trying to have a good time, trying to make light of our situation because we didn't really know what to expect. After my 6-week training, I said goodbye to all my friends that I made in the MTC, and I went on a plane from the MTC to my area, which I was called the Servant, which was Fortaleza, Brazil. I made it to the field. I got to meet my mission president, basically the guy that was in charge and running all of us. I got to meet my companions. At this point, I'm just getting adjusted to the routine of being a missionary. I'm still trying to get adjusted to the language. Don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to study. I was never really good in high school about studying and stuff, so I didn't know I don't know what the heck I was doing. One evening, I started getting these really bad like stomach aches, these stomach problems. I thought, oh, I ate like 5 hamburgers for lunch, and so that was probably like the reason I just like overstuffed myself. Then the next day I was fine, and then that following day it turned out to be really worse again. We called up my mission president, his wife, and she directed me to receive a blessing from my companion, and if it doesn't get better, to go to the hospital. So that's exactly what I did. My companion gave me a blessing. I was praying. I also popped like 6 ibuprofen because I did not know what I was doing. It just got so bad where I'm like, nah, I like literally feel like I'm dying. We gotta go to the hospital right now. We took an hour Uber ride to the hospital. They checked me out, and it turned out that I had gallstones forming inside of my gallbladder. Ultimately, I was given the decision where I could stay in Brazil, get my surgery done there, or I could get flown back out to Utah and get my surgery out there and start my healing process. I decided, with the help of like my doctor and stuff, my doctor and my uncle, also a doctor, advised me that I come back to the United States to get the surgery done. So that's what I did, that's what I chose. They shipped me right back out to the United States. I was on a plane that following day. I got home, I tried a bunch of like parasite and gallbladder cleansings just to try and get everything out. I kept having that same problem, and it just got even worse. So I get to the point where I'm like, you know what? It's time for the surgery. So I got the surgery. After 3 months of being at home and healing and doing like service missionary work, going out with some of the missionaries, it was time for me to make my decision of going back out to the mission field. I met up with another one of my church leaders, and we got talking. I decided I wanted to get back out there. What they told me is that I could either be reassigned to somewhere in the United States, or I could go back to my mission in Brazil. And so I was hoping so bad to go back out to Brazil. I was just ready to get back out. And so I'm like, you know what, let's go, let's do it. Let's talk to the church department, get everything figured out. So that's what we did. A few days later, I received a reassignment, something I wasn't really expecting because I was so focused and just thinking of, oh, I'm gonna go back to Brazil. That's like, what's gonna happen? I remember that night that I got that reassignment, I was out at dinner with some friends, and I just saw like a notification pop up. It said it was from the church, and it said my new assignment, like the name of it. It said Boston, Massachusetts. And I remember just thinking like, are you kidding me? I have to go to a whole new place again. I'm gonna be in Boston, Massachusetts. I don't even want to go to Boston, Massachusetts. I was low-key just a hater at the very beginning. I didn't even tell like my family at first. I was just like, I'm just done. Let's just like I just want to have a fun night tonight. I'll figure out everything later. I ended up breaking the news to my family a little bit later after that. I was just a bum. I was just upset. I'm just kind of mad that I was going to Boston and not back to where I was originally assigned to serve in Brazil. After having 2 weeks notice, I went shopping, bought a bunch of cold weather stuff. I took off to Boston with the bummiest, like upset, angry attitude ever. I made it out to Boston. Yeah, so I lied. I actually didn't make it to Boston. I made it to Connecticut. So I flew in to Connecticut, and still I was just upset. I'm like, bro, I got called to the Boston, Massachusetts mission, and I'm going to like Connecticut? Like, what is this? Everyone was hyping me up about my mission, being like, oh, Boston's so awesome, Boston's so cool, you're gonna love the history. And I don't even care about history. I was just upset. I flew in, made it to Connecticut, met up with my companions. I felt like throwing up the whole time. And I remember waking up in that bed too, on the top bunk, and just thinking like, what am I doing right now? The very beginning was super rough for me. It was super hard. I remember like not knowing what the crap I was doing. I didn't have like the greatest friends. I didn't have any like connections with any of the people in my mission. And it was just rough. All I could say, first 6 weeks of my mission were so rough, and I did not like it. I wanted to get out of there as quick as possible. But after those 6 weeks, I made a couple friends. Things started getting better. One way I saw God's hand at the start of my mission was with one of the biggest things I struggled with, and that was learning Portuguese. I didn't know what people were saying to me. I didn't know how to study Portuguese or do anything like that. And so it was just super rough. I felt pretty alone. I just felt dumb because I'm like, I'm a missionary. I'm practically like almost 6 months into my mission. I don't know anything. And so that started to worry me really bad. I started having like these strange experiences where I'd be in a lesson and I'd be understanding what the other person would be telling me. I would be able to say a prayer like fluently in Portuguese. And in those first like 12 weeks of my mission too, I was able to literally read Portuguese practically fluently with maybe a couple mistakes. But it was something that I thought like I could have never done. I was never like a smart dude in high school or anything like that. And so I know God, he was helping me out, and He was giving me these experiences and these times to grow. It got to the point where I even was dreaming in Portuguese sometimes. And I would be praying in Portuguese and just asking, like, please just help me learn Portuguese. I want to learn it so bad. Then I would go to bed, I would be dreaming in Portuguese. And I wouldn't even know it. There's one morning where my companion told me, he's like, dude, I heard you like speaking in Portuguese last night in your dream. Like, what were you dreaming about? I'm like, bro, I don't even know. It was just super cool. I had like awesome experiences with learning the language, and I know that I wouldn't have been able to do it without God's help. As a missionary, your day-to-day routine is to wake up at 6:30 a.m., get up, daily plan, work out, make sure you study your scriptures, do your personal study, do a language study if applicable, and then eat lunch, get out the door and go. Try and find people any way you possibly can, whether that's door knocking, maybe it's a few phone calls, maybe it's going and visiting other members of the church. And our whole purpose was literally just to find other people and invite them to come closer to Jesus Christ by like growing their faith, repenting. They could even be baptized. And we just invited a bunch of people to church, and just so they could come and know Jesus Christ more. That was our sole purpose as missionaries. One of my favorite parts of being a missionary was doing service. And as missionaries, we put on like the badge that has Jesus Christ's name on it. And so we're expected, and it's something that we need to do, is to be like Jesus. And that was like, I had some of the coolest moments of just serving other people, whether it was literally moving someone out of their house. Like me, my companion, and a couple other guys, we literally lifted every single thing out of this old woman's house so that she could move to another place. There was other times too where service opportunities would come up. Someone would reject our offer of inviting them to church or teaching them a message about Jesus Christ, but we would ask them if they needed service or they needed anything. Sometimes we just look for an opportunity to serve them. So maybe it was dishes. There was one time where we went over to this person's home, and we saw that she needed help with some dishes. So instead of like teaching a lesson or doing anything like that, we went over to her sink and we just started doing her dishes and helping her out. And it was one of like the coolest experiences ever, because from that moment, she progressed so much in her faith. She was praying, reading the scriptures more. It was just so cool to see that just literally from that one little act of service of doing so much dishes, they changed so much and came so much closer to Jesus Christ. During those 2 years, I made some of my best friends. I got to participate in like some of the coolest service projects, and I was able to see Jesus Christ change the lives of so many people. Like I literally saw changes in families and just individuals of people coming closer to Jesus Christ. And like you could feel the energy, you could feel it, everything just felt different when a person was converted to Jesus Christ. My mission was hard, but the experiences and the things that I learned, I wouldn't trade it for anything.